What's going on, guys? This is Nick from Budget Build Garage. Today I was gonna do an episode on the rear suspension for the El Camino, but things have changed because a buddy called me and says he's got a decent price from a guy for a new engine. Honestly, when stuff like this happens, you kind of got to go get it. So this episode's going to be a little different. I'm going to run through a couple of things with the suspension, but really I'm just going to get it done so I can get the El Camino on the road for the first time, so I can hopefully pick up an engine for some other project. I'm sure I have something lying around that needs an engine. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of get to stuff today, show you some stuff that probably normally wouldn't make it to an episode, but I figure we might as well try something different. Let me show you the rear suspension. Alright, so these are the rear shocks and the rear coils that were in the El Camino. As far as the shocks, they're an air shock. They work okay. If you're loading stuff up, you can pump them up full of air, but they didn't have any of the air fittings or any of the air lines, so they were pretty much completely just doing nothing back there. As far as the coils, they are just too weak for what I need. At the end of the day, I need this to be a truck. I used to own a truck, but it got sold to buy other parts and other cars and other stuff. So, don't have a truck. I need this thing to be my truck for a while. So what I did is I put in what's called a cargo spring. Cargo spring is a dual rate spring, kind of like what we put on the Mustang, but for a different purpose. It helps control when you put a lot of weight in there. It helps support that extra weight, but you still get the comfort of a normal spring. So it's not like a full truck spring with, like, you know, a really heavy spring rate. Hopefully they feel all right. As far as shocks, I just do some KYBs on there. I use those a lot because they're not a bad shock and they're pretty cheap compared to some of the other stuff that's out there. So I'm going to toss that in, and honestly, I'm going to hit the road and hopefully this thing performs decently. I got the springs in, I got the shocks on. The next thing is the tires. These things are at least 20 years old, probably more. They are dry rotted. They are not going to work. They're not going anywhere. So what I'm going to have to do is bolt these things on, pull this thing out of here, bring the Pontiac in, rob the wheels and tires off of that because I don't have new tires right now. And yeah, throw those things on there, and then I'm going to hit the road and, like I said, hopefully pick up an engine. Alright, so I broke the bit that I would use for the sockets, and that's because I wasn't using an impact one. You should use an impact one when you're using it on an impact, otherwise you're going to keep breaking these. Oh well, to be honest, it's really not that big of a deal. I'll just get another one, and I guess I got to fire up my air compressor to pull this off. Dang, I hate hearing that thing. Alright, so car's running, car's idling. I took it around the block, seems fine. Next thing we gotta do is go get some gas because who knows what's in there. I dumped like 5 gallons into it, but I've run it a bunch, so there's probably not much in there. I wanna put some in there. And after that, I got some errands to run, and let's see how this thing does. Oh, there's a corn man. He was back there, it's too late. I need a reclining chair. I'm sitting too close to the steering wheel. I don't like it. Oh, I can't right turn right here? Damn. That's what I needed to do too. All right, so the fire extinguisher blew up in here. It's everywhere. That sucks. There's a lot of dust. I guess it's not really dust, is it? What year's the truck?
65.
Damn, man, this thing is clean. Who did all the paint and body?
A buddy of mine up here has a little paint shop.
Dude, the patina on it is
Yeah,
so nice.
That was my idea to do it. He's never done it. And I said, well, this is how we're going to do it.
No, man, this whole thing is just awesome. Look at you. Where you going?
A little short dog.
No, man, this thing is amazing. So the engine that I'm getting from you was going to be this guy's heartbeat, and instead you got this monster?
No, that engine that you're getting is one I picked up from an old guy who bought this Sprint car, and it was in the Sprint car, and he wanted to sell it, and I thought, oh, that'd be a good engine for a transplant into a project down the road somewhere along the road. So that's
Wow.
the reason I've sold it. I sold it because I just pulled this one out. The one out of this one, now I have that engine for a transplant. So I end up with too many engines.
Oh, man, I don't know if that's a thing.
Well, yeah, he doesn't have a storage facility either.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the one I pulled out of here had, it was a nice little 350, ran good, and a turbo 350 trans. I pulled the whole thing out, all one piece, and I have it in the back. That's going to be my next transplant.
Do you mind if I open the door?
Do whatever you want to do.
Oh, man.
There's not much in there, so I can pour everything out.
Oh, dang.
Right? His idea of not much in there is much different than the El Camino's.
Nice.
Well, that is...
Well, by the time he's done, I'm sure it's going to be really nice.
Man.
Like the trail bike.
Yeah, my little 70.
Yeah.
That gauge cluster is nice.
Yeah, Nick's into this. He can't help himself. It was funny for the first maybe 15, 30 minutes.
I don't know about those Mr. Gasket header gaskets there, buddy.
That's what I have on the shelf.
Yeah, they might work out.
I hope.
Those motherfuckers always crack and leak on me.
I know. Well, the last set I had, I think I got from you, and they're the dark gray ones, the real thick.
Uh-huh.
Boy, and they sealed up so nice,
As long as you don't over-tie them, they're bitching.
Yeah.
If you over-tie them, they
Yeah,
shatter.
they were good.
I got a set of those on the Pontiac,
Yeah.
and they're nice. If you have like a slight warp to the
Yep.
header, they'll take care of it.
Yeah. So
I'll get a couple sets of those in just in case.
It's completely dry, and did you unload the valves and everything as well?
oh yeah, I
Oh, good.
backed off all the justles and so, and then I rotate it over now and then. I give it a little extra oil and just to kind of
Oh, yeah.
keep up on it.
When's the last time you ran this thing?
It's been 2 years Thanksgiving.
Whew.
I mean, look at the dust. Oh, my God.
I know. Well, we got so much of that ash and stuff,
yeah.
Dude, this thing's amazing.
So
It's got a little bit of juice. Yeah.
Oh, man. So, is this mechanical injection?
yeah, mechanical
Yeah.
injection. It's 362 cubic inches. Makes 700. What did it make? 702 on the Shaver's dyno. So they're pretty stout.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's pretty incredible standing next to it on idle.
Yeah.
It's a heavy breather.
Make you nauseous?
It's a heavy breather.
Start thumping on your chest.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. For a small block, it's
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's not one of those big fuel drag motors, you know, but it's pretty good.
So the fuel pump is right here. It runs directly off the.
No, this is the oil pump
Really?
running off the camshaft, and below it is the water pump running off the crankshaft.
Huh.
And then on the inside here,
Right between your legs.
right here is the power steering pump running on the other side of the camshaft, and then the fuel pump slides right into here. The fuel pump's off because we clean all the fuel out of it and oil it.
Huh.
So it's sitting on the bench right there.
Yeah, the fuel is really caustic, so
Yeah,
when
it's
not-
all alcohol, straight alcohol, and it just corrodes everything. It'll ruin stuff if you leave it in there. You have to get the alcohol out of the whole fuel system if you're going to park them.
Man.
So we do have a fresh oil filter, and oil is in or out.
I don't know. I'd have to ask Greg.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think it's out. So
Before there,
Yeah? Dang.
same car.
That's right.
It takes a few more pieces and parts to get there, but
yep.
How much does the wing help when you're turning? Like, is it night and day?
You can, on a good track, you can drive in the corner, just lift barely, and get back on the throttle wide open and drive wide open all the way around the corner. And you can't do that on a non-wing car.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. Your corner speed, the straightaway speed's about the same, but the corner speed is so much greater that it just makes the whole, circuit a lot faster.
Wow.
and these guys stack up in the corner like
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
I mean, it's almost like they're almost touching. I mean,
Yeah.
All right, I need one.
oh geez. Well, we might have a good deal. You know, rumor has it, Greg was talking about a new frame or something like that the last time we were out and about.
What I've told people that want them, I says, wanting one and buying one is one thing. Being able to support it and operate it is a whole different thing.
So it's like a boat. The two happiest days: buying the boat and
Buying
selling
and
the boat.
selling the boat. There you
Yeah.
are.
Well, you got to figure every night we race this thing, it takes a crew of about half a dozen to maintain, keep it running, keep it fueled, keep everybody in the seat. If anything should happen, you got to have all those guys that know what's going on to be able to put it back together again. And preferably guys that help build it or know where everything goes, so that way that you don't put the wrong bolt in the wrong place, have something fall off.
Damn.
It's basically just to get it to the track and run it.
Crazy.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
so it's going to pack it down low then.
Yeah. This one's pretty low peak. It's
Early 70s,
Yeah, those helper springs are doing their job. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, still suspension though.
you got a little suspension.
All right, we just got to get it home. All right, guys, so I am back. I got a Chevy small block, which I'm pretty stoked about. Also, I got to meet some cool guy that he had a lot of cool stuff, had a lot of cool cars. Got to talk to him about his awesome race car he's been racing for years. Today was a great day. I got a lot accomplished. Unfortunately, the Pontiac is on jack stands because the wheels and tires are on the El Camino, but I needed to test that engine. I needed to test everything, suspension, and honestly, it's doing great. Complaints. There's not a lot of complaints with that thing, actually. It'd be nice if the oil pump would calm down. When you put a brand new high volume oil pump, man, they are rowdy. If that thing puts out like 80 psi when you're doing like 60, and I want it to be more like 60 psi when I'm doing 80, but they do calm down. It does take a while. The suspension needs to settle a little bit more, but I think throwing a small block in the back is going to really help. As far as handling characteristics, honestly, the car is pretty awesome. Yeah, I really like it. What I'd love to do is get rid of the steering box that's in it and get something a little quicker ratio. And I think that would really kind of complete the whole suspension. I think everything would be awesome. Yeah, man, that's really it for this episode. Like I said in the beginning, this isn't normally like stuff I would show. This is kind of stuff I end up doing on my own. And then kind of me and Taylor make a video afterwards with the parts I found. But thought you guys might be interested in some of this stuff. So really that's it for this episode. Let me know what you thought, because like I said, it is very different as far as the other episodes go. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know. We'll catch you on the next episode.